Welcome to SFGAM Studio. Today I'm excited to bring you a local, innovative, creative movie director, writers, Mr. David Lewis. His latest two movies, Under One Roof and The Rock Haven. Hello, David.
Thanks, Bo, for having me on. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm more excited to have you here. So, tell us about the Under One Roof.
Under One Roof was the very first movie I was involved with, and I wrote it and helped director Todd Wilson edit it. And it's about a young Asian man who lives in San Francisco. And he's closeted to his very traditional Chinese mother and gets into trouble when she puts a tenant in the house, a white Caucasian tenant, and he falls in love with the tenant, so he has to make a decision. Does he go through with this relationship or, continue hiding from his mother?
Wow, I can't imagine. So, so what inspired the writing of this script?
Well, your life story, actually. No, I'm teasing, but I've been with an Asian partner for 12 years, and I have a lot of Asian friends.
Right.
And back then, even though back then was only 5 or 6 years ago, there were a lot of people who I knew who were not open with their parents, and traditions were getting in the way, and I thought that was a great basis for a comedy, and it's a very San Francisco kind of story, and I knew somewhat about the topic, and that's a good place to start when you're writing.
Well, speaking of San Francisco, I mean, it did strike a chord with many of my Asian friends. For our viewers that do not live in San Francisco, we have a large Asian community here, and also many of the houses actually has an in-law unit that people do rented it out. So it really fit perfectly in San Francisco as a backdrop.
Yeah, I thought not only did we want to get the cross-cultural comedy between the Caucasian and the Asian, but we also wanted to really present, gay Asian sexuality, because, in 2000 there was just almost nothing in the way of those kind of images. So in that way, as I look back, I really view that film as groundbreaking, because it really portrayed Asians in a very sexual way, and just that was new at that point. It seems silly, but it was kind of new in America, at least at that point. And I'm really proud of the film. It didn't have the highest production values in the world, but I think it was a labor of love with everyone involved, and I think it had a lot of charm. And so,
well, definitely, because actually many of my viewers love the story and could identify with it. The writing actually is very, very good.
Oh, thank you.
Very, very funny. I laugh at it so many times.
It's ironic that, when we made this film, we thought it would really just kind of play with the Asian communities in San Francisco, but it really went far beyond that. It really appealed to the Midwest, and Under One Roof was a commercial success in the DVD market, but a lot of what fueled that was in the middle part of the country, where you don't have nearly as large Asian communities. And I think just some of those things in Under One Roof, when it comes down to it, are very universal. It's not just the Asian community per se, but these are universal problems that people face. And Under One Roof ultimately was a film about balancing your family responsibilities with your love life, and I think that has a lot of resonance in the middle part of the country too. So that was a pleasant surprise, and I think that's, at the end of the day, that's why I think I really wrote it, because I've struggled. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't struggled with the same issues with my family, and balancing that too, So it's a cathartic kind of self-actualization exercise, I think.